Bonjour everyone, Kobi from Orphaned Land here. You're watching Morow.com. Check the Orphaned Land new album, Unsung Prophets and Dead Messiahs. Orphaned Land exists now for 26 years. We are influenced from metal bands to progressive bands. Iron Maiden can be an influence. Steven Wilson can be an influence. Early Genesis albums, stuff like that. But we are mainly influenced from every music that you can just think of. Oriental music, music from the Middle East. But it could be anything. It could be Leonard Cohen, it could be Serge Gainsbourg, it could be Bob Dylan. Good music is influence for us. But what is influencing us the most is the life and the people of the world and life in the Middle East. We are doing music for 26 years now, like I said, and we've released 7 albums. We got to work with amazing musicians like Steven Wilson. He mixed and played also live in one of our shows. That's it, I think. We are always been a fan of progressive music because concept albums, progressive music gives you the freedom to do crazy things. You can do a 12-minute song, you can do a 9-minute song, you can do a solo of 2 minutes. And it gives you the freedom to do whatever you want. Steven Wilson was always a genius, in my opinion, and we released an album in 2004. The name of the album was Mabul, not like in French Mabul. It's more like the flood, it means the flood. And Steven Wilson was fascinated from this album because he saw the oriental elements that we use with progressive music, and he thought that no band sound like Orphaned Land. He thought that we are very unique, and then in the next album we worked together. He mixed our album and he played a bit of keyboards, and he was also a guest in our DVD show, which was a great honor. Steven Wilson is the musical god for us and for many others. With Steve Hackett, it was that he contacted me and he wanted me to sing in a song that he wrote in his new album. It was a song that he wrote for peace, and he wanted an Israeli musician and Arab musician. So he found me and he contacted me, and then he asked me if I want him to pay me money for these recordings or if I want him to play a solo in our album. You can guess what was my answer. And he recorded an amazing solo on Chains Fall to Gravity, song number 6 on our new album. It's such a great solo, I even sometimes afraid that it's a better solo than the Steve Hackett solo solos. It's a great solo, and I'm very proud to have him as a part of our, of our album. And it's him and Steven Wilson. They are like progressive rock heroes, and to see that they appreciate the music of Orphaned Land, it's amazing. And yeah, what can I say?
Close my eyes, I cannot see.
It's not religious at all. It's almost, I would say, anti-religious. It's very protesting against governments and against people with power like religious priests. It's a protest album. So the only religious thing I could say is the song number 5, Yedidi, which is a traditional Jewish song, which is a conversation of the poet and God. But the album is not religious in any way. Basically, it's about a disappointment from human beings, because we took the allegory of the cave by Platon. He wrote that story 2,500 years ago, and he wrote it because the people of Greece, ancient Greece, they killed the philosopher Socrates. And he was amazed, how can you let this man go? How can you give up on such a man? He's the wisdom, he's the knowledge. And then he figured out that the people, they live in a cave and in darkness, and they don't want to leave that cave and that darkness. He understood something about human behavior, which is very unfortunate. And it's been 2,500 years ever since that story. Until now, it's the same situation. Every time someone like Socrates is coming, like let's say a leader, a revolutionary, humanity always assassinate him. It could be Mahatma Gandhi, Che Guevara, Martin Luther King, Prime Minister Rabin from Israel. He was very close to make peace with Palestinians and they assassinate him. It could be President Sadat from Egypt, the first one who did peace with Israel. They assassinate him. And you can find many examples like that. You can look at the history of France. You will find revolutionary people that were assassinated easily, especially in France. And this is something, the people, do you know the allegory of the cave by Plato?
Yeah.
So
it was my first lesson of
philosophy.
Yeah.
So this is like a prophecy in a way, because we are still in this cave. Because what's happening in this cave? They see the shadows on the wall. They see the things that they are not the reality, and they think that this is the only truth. What's happening in our life? I will give you an example. Did you or the listeners, you can also ask the listeners or your friend, did you know that, it's just an example, did you know that in India every year 70,000 kids are being kidnapped? Did you know about it?
No.
I didn't know about it too. Do you know who is Kim Kardashian? I know who is Kim Kardashian. This is, for me, this is the cave. Because how can we deal, or who is the one that put Kim Kardashian in our face and don't tell us the story of 70,000 children being kidnapped every year in India? Who is it? This is the cave for me. We don't deal with reality, with real things that are happening. We are dealing with gossip, reality TV, the Big Brother. We will not go out to the street to resist. There is a Big Brother at 8 o'clock. I have to go and see it with my friends. They put the smoke curtain, the smoke screen in our eyes, so we will not see corruption and we will not see the bad things, and we will deal with, oh, this celebrity were sitting in this coffee shop with this model. Guess what they drank? Cappuccino. There are a lot of people who are dealing with this information. What can you do with this information? It's nothing. It's just nothing. And this is the cave. Humanity is in the cave of Platon, and we are trapped in this cave, and every time that a revolutionary comes and tries to take us out, he is being assassinated. That's the concept of the lyrics of the album in a way, and it's a very strong one, I think. There's rifles at your face, there's bombs falling on the book. There is a tribute to the dollar paper from the USA. It could be the pyramid in the eye, and it could be this ornament is really like the dollar. You can see it on the dollar. And the whole cover, it's the way that governments paint money. It's how they do money. It looks like money in a way. This is of course the hand of resistance. This is very much like a tribute to Freemasons and Illuminati and all these kind of things, and the all-knowing eye, which is like a big brother. If you look at history, so authors like Aldous Huxley and George Orwell, they wrote Brave New World in 1984. These things are like prophecies, because George Orwell speak about the big brother and how the government knows where you are and what you do and what you speak. Look today, they can know where you are with your phone. Governments can know they can analyze your personality by the words you look on Google and by the post you put on Facebook. They can see what are you interested in and where you are right now, and they can listen to you. These things, George Orwell speak about them in 1984, and he wrote it in 1947. Aldous Huxley, he speaks about future governments, that in the future, when you will go for a demonstration, the government will not have to beat you. They will put some perfume in the air and you will smell it, and this perfume will be like drugs. It will make you happy and you will go home and stop the demonstration. Now look what they do today. You don't go for a demonstration or you don't protest very much because you are asleep. Kim Kardashian news, gossip news, Big Brother, reality TV, and lots of bullshit taking your attention from what is real and what is truth. This is why we call the album Unsung Prophets and Dead Messiahs. Unsung Prophets is people like Platon, like George Orwell, like Aldous Huxley. Dead Messiahs, it could be Jesus Christ, not because I think he is the Messiah, because he was a revolutionary guy and they killed him, like Martin Luther King, like Che Guevara, like Rabin, like Sadat, like Socrates. This is a concept album to show that we are trapped, we are stuck in a loop. Look at technology. Technology from in 2500 years, technology, it's an enormous progress. What about humanity? Still in the same problems. Now in this year, 70,000 kids are still being kidnapped in India. In these times, 50,000 kids still die in Syria, and more than 500,000 people died in the civil war in Syria. This is 2017, this is not World War II. Between human beings, we are still in a very big problem and we are not being advanced and we don't learn anything from history. While in technology, the advance and everything goes high, very, very nice. This album is dealing with all these subjects and touching these subjects with the lyrics and stuff, and of course the music makes it even better. But it's a very strong album with a very strong message. I think I'm not objective to say, but people can say. Every time we have a show, not only in our show, but every time we have a show, you can see in the crowd Jewish people, Muslim people, Christian people, or atheist people. You can see homosexual people. Because music turns everyone into a family. When you are in a show and everybody sings together, this is peace. We are one family for a few hours. So this is giving me always hope. I am not naive. I look at the world. But I always believe in the good sides of human beings, and I always think that we can be better and we can achieve much more. So I still have belief. This is why I write songs, because I still believe that humans can do better. Yes, we have a tour coming up in February, and we are going to play 4 shows in France as well. I think we are playing Paris. For sure we are playing Paris. We will also play Montpellier and Nantes and maybe another city, I don't remember now. But there are shows, everyone can check about the tour in our website and you can see the tour dates over there. It's coming up in a few months.